Hey guys, Greg and Stacy here from Kzoo Keto, bringing you 3 Mexican chaffle recipes. 2 for me, 1 from Stacy.
That's right, I can do savory too.
Sort of. Shall we tell them what they are?
Well, yeah.
Well, you should go ahead and tell them what yours is then.
So mine, the best ones, are chicken guacamole chaffles. They're good.
Heh. Be the judge of that.
You won't even try them because they're guac.
I'll try them on the camera for these guys. Let them know how tasteless they are so that they can try these instead. So I have 2. I have a steak fajita. So it has green peppers, onions, and steak. So by the way, guys, all of the 3 of these, even Stacy's, is great for leftovers. If you have extra when you had taco night or chicken night or anything like that, you can cut them up and you can basically make this for your meal prep for the week. So 3 meal prep Mexican chaffle recipes. Anyway, I got distracted because I'm so excited about that. But yeah, steak fajita, it's awesome. But you know what's even better than steak fajita? And way better than guacamole chicken? Green chili chorizo. You're gonna wanna check these out, guys. Oh, and due to popular demand, our taco seasoning recipe is gonna be end of this video. So make sure you stick around for that as well.
Okay, so here we go with the chicken guacamole chaffle. First is best. Obviously you're gonna need chicken. This is chicken that I have pre-cooked and pre-shredded in the food processor. 2 eggs. You're gonna need guacamole, of course. These are little, we found these at Costco. You can also get something similar at Aldi if you're looking for someplace a little bit cheaper, but it's like a little 2 tablespoon serving of guacamole.
Organic guacamole.
And yes, this is organic guacamole, which I just noticed as I was reading the ingredients, it uses organic dehydrated onion. So no real onions. Okay,
Yes.
they're real, but there's no onion chunks.
Right.
Which is why I like it so much.
Gotta have onions and guacamole.
Right,
So
but
there's tomatoes
they're
in there
not chunky onions. Then of course you need your cheese. I, as you know, if you follow us on social media or have seen past videos, use the Chihuahua cheese all the time, But you can also use Mexican cheese, or you can use your standard mozzarella cheese. Whatever you have on hand, whatever you prefer, you do it your way. My way, in addition to that, is using the turmeric salt. This is by Jada Spices. You can get this on Amazon. We'll link it down below if you're interested. And the newly found Cholula hot sauce. Yes, I am using a hot sauce. The one that claims that Greg and Nate don't have taste buds because they always have hot sauce. I'm using this. This is a mix of jalapeno and poblano peppers. It's actually not that bad. I do like the green stuff when it comes to the Mexican sauces. It's not that bad unless you dump in a whole bunch.
Not that bad as in not that spicy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I can handle it. Somebody else can handle it. Get them kind of broken up, whipped up. And they're whipped.
So Stacy, somebody's gonna ask, how well does this keep? You make these ahead of time for lunches the next day, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you warm them up in a toaster oven?
No. I just eat them cold. I don't mind them cold. It's cold. It's cold chicken.
Cold
Guacamole's cold too, so I just eat it cold.
But if you wanted to warm them up,
definitely can warm. I thought about warming them up today.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't have time for that.
All right.
So I did not. But you definitely can. You can put them in the toaster oven. You can put them in a convection oven. You can put them in a regular oven. You can put them in a toaster. I would not put them in the microwave.
Because it gets soggy.
Tends to make it rubbery.
Yeah, you don't want that. You can even put them back in your chaffle iron too.
Yeah, you don't want rubbery. You don't want rubbery chaffles. That's just not. That's not good.
All right.
So we're gonna dump in this whole thing. Now, like I said, this is about 2 tablespoons. So if you have a giant jar of guacamole, just use about 2 tablespoons.
So do they come out green?
They do have a slight green hue. It's kind of funny. It makes me think of Dr. Seuss Green Eggs and Ham.
Nice. And how many do you usually get out of this?
It depends on how full you fill it. You can get at least 3, sometimes 4.
Which is like perfect for your lunch, huh?
Yes. I really don't measure the cheese, but it is about half a cup. I've made so many of these now that I know that this handful is about half a cup of cheese.
Half a cup of cheese.
Again, I'm not measuring, but I put in what comes out to about 1/3 of a cup of the ground chicken.
You said ground, but it's really just
I'm sorry.
Shredded, processed.
Shredded to within a centimeter of its life.
Yeah. Yeah. So she puts that in the food processor and goes like completely crazy with it.
Yep. And we're gonna put in 1/4 teaspoon of this because I like the kick, but I don't like a whole crap load of kick. Normally I just shake it in and I'll do about 5 or 6 shakes. But I wanted to measure it for you guys. So we mix that in nice and well because you don't want to get one spot where you all of a sudden have a crap load of hot sauce, and that wouldn't be fun. And I'm going to aim for 3. Sometimes I end up with 3 and a little one. But these don't usually bubble out too bad if you overfill them. They tend to just bake up a little bit. Okay, that one's loud. And we'll let those go for... So our blue light fell out. The lens cover fell out the last time I was cleaning them a little bit ago, and Greg thought it would be apparently MacGyver it and tape it.
That's right. Tape solves everything.
So we're gonna let those cook for 3 to 5 minutes. So one of the ways that I judge when they're done is when you see a lot less steam coming out of them. Or you can hear that the sizzling has died down. So it's been probably 4 or 5 minutes at this point. There's hardly any steam. There's hardly any sizzle. They're a little dense, so it's kind of hard to get the spatula underneath them. But as you can see, they have a nice lovely green hue.
Okay guys, so this is what you do with your leftover fajitas. You turn it into a chaffle. So we got some steak that I cut up here a little bit, about 1/4 cup, and I got about 1/4 cup of green peppers and onions. If you don't have steak fajitas left over, if you have like taco meat left over, just same thing, 1/2 cup. So no matter which way you choose to go, whether you go with the steak fajitas, chicken fajitas, or taco, ground beef, you're still gonna need an egg and you're gonna need to pick a cheese. So I really like the Mexican cheese, but I also really like Chihuahua, so I kind of go back and forth a little bit. But whichever one is good. I haven't tried it with mozzarella, but I imagine that'd probably be pretty decent as well. I just like the little extra Mexican flair. So 1 egg, pop it into your bowl. So both of our steak and our ground beef has been seasoned with our taco seasoning mix that I use for pretty much everything. We'll actually have a chili recipe coming shortly that will also be using it. And the recipe for this, we'll do a quick clip at the end of the video. So make sure you stick to the end to see that. All right, so we're adding 1/2 cup of cheese. This is the Chihuahua cheese to the egg. We're gonna add the peppers and the onions. We're gonna add the steak. All right, so you're gonna get a mixture like this. So this is enough for 2. And you're just gonna wanna make sure you get a good even distribution. All right, let's close the lids and it'll fill out. All right, so like Stacy, when the steaming and stuff is stopped, you know you're done. So let's take a look at this. Looks like this one got a little full on the left side. These are gonna be fairly dense as well. That steak in there makes it quite dense. But you can see the peppers and everything else in there too.
All kinds of color in that one.
All kinds of color. You can leave them in to get them crispier if you want. But it is a fantastic way for leftover fajitas, tacos, whatever. It's great. Okay guys, so our third Mexican chaffle, I've been eating this one all week. This is my favorite of all of them, specifically the ones that don't have guacamole. But this one has chorizo in it. So chorizo is a Mexican sausage. It's very finely ground, and it has basically authentic Mexican spices already in it. Make sure you find a good quality. It doesn't have any of your extra garbage, no sugar. There shouldn't be any sugar in it at all. So you can pretty much find it at any store. They should have it. Just make sure you look at the label. All right, so I've already browned up some chorizo here, and I dried it off as best as you can because you want to try to get it as dry as you can. So when you put it into the chaffle maker, any extra moisture is going to take longer. It's also going to keep things getting firm and crispy. I'm going to take one egg, I'm going to crack it into my mixing bowl. In addition to the chorizo and the egg, you're also going to need, for this one, some green chili enchilada sauce. You can actually use real green chilies if you want to. That's perfectly fine. I really like the sauce because it kind of gets a consistency through the whole thing. So that's what is in this jar right here. Then you're going to need your cheese. You can go Mexican cheese or Chihuahua cheese, which we use often. So for this, we're gonna go with 1/3 of a cup. So a little less cheese than a normal chaffle. And the reason for that is because we're also adding the enchilada sauce. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of enchilada sauce. And now you can add as much chorizo as you want. I usually approximate to about 1/4 of a cup. If you put too much in it though, it's gonna be a problem. Now, the secret ingredient is the cotija. Did I say that right? Cotija? Cotija.
I have no idea.
I think that's how you say it. But anyway, this is basically a Mexican Parmesan cheese. If you don't have this, you can use regular Parmesan. I like this better because it doesn't have any gluten or anything in it like the Kraft stuff does. So for this, 2 teaspoons. If you've seen our taco bowl video, it's basically doing the same thing there. It's going to actually give it a little bit more crispness. So I think that's all of my ingredients. Yes, we're going to go ahead and give this a mix. So the best part about all 3 of these recipes is that you can use them for meal prep because they heat up really, really easy. In the microwave, not recommended. However, if you do it in a toaster oven or even a frying pan, or best yet, even put it right back on top of your dash. All right, so we're mixed up.
And this makes just 2?
This should make just 2. But it really just depends on how much chorizo you put in there. But generally 2 works out pretty good. All right, let's close these bad boys down. All right, so just one quick tip. If you don't have chorizo, you can still make this recipe. Just substitute the chorizo for the ground beef taco meat, basically. Which, speaking of tacos, our taco seasoning, as you guys requested, is coming right after our taste test. So make sure you stick around for that too. Let's take these off. So when these things are steaming and smelling, it smells so good. You can see they can get kind of dark, crispy. So they still come off so kind of floppy, but you let them sit there for a couple minutes and they're gonna be fantabulous. Let's get Stacy and the other chaffles back up here and we'll do some taste testing. All right, so there you have it, guys. How to make all 3 of these recipes. Let us know which one you think is gonna be your favorite down below in the comments. Meanwhile, Stacy hasn't tried this one. I don't know, did you try that fajita one yet?
I have not.
All right, so she gets to try 2 and I only have to try 1. This is awesome. All right, so ladies first, would you like to pull me a piece of your guacamole chicken?
I think you need to take an extra large piece since you're only trying 1.
Well, I gotta eat the whole thing?
Yep, eat the whole thing.
This actually is really good. I'm not a big guacamole guy, but you know what's really awesome with this is if you get a good guacamole, then guacamole is going to give you a lot of extra fat from the avocado. So it's going to probably balance these out quite a bit with the cheese and the egg and the protein that's come from both of those. Yep. So, yeah. And
I tried to tell him he'd like this.
I mean, it's good.
I took some of these to work, and the people that are not big on guacamole at work actually like them too.
All right, my turn. Now you get to hold the pan. So Stacy's not a big fan of cooked peppers. So this will be fun. I gotta make sure I get a piece that has a pepper in it.
The steak makes it really hard to chew.
Makes it harder to chew. But that's what steak does, right?
But it tastes good. And I actually didn't get the pepper until the end.
Ah, it's good. So you can add hot sauce and stuff to them if you want as well. So this one, on the other hand, so Stacy does not like chorizo. At least she doesn't think she does. But this one's gonna be more fun. Look at her. This is exciting. This is exciting. She doesn't like it, so this is fun. See, I did that same thing to her.
I already tried one.
What? Oh yeah, I'm gonna try one. Nope, Phil doesn't like chorizo. So she probably ought to go for the ground beef version.
That's got some weirdness in there.
You got some weirdness, huh? No. It tastes good. It's chorizo.
I need to mask it.
Alright, so I guess the verdict's out then that if you don't like chorizo, you probably don't want to use chorizo. But you can use ground beef. So, and they're delicious. Let us know if you give these a try, guys. And let us know again what your favorite is. And taco seasoning coming right up. Alright guys, so to start this off, we got chili powder options. You can go with regular chili powder or you can do the ancho chili powder. It's your choice. This gives you a little bit more of a smoky flavor. So if you're into the smoky flavors, Stacy's not, give that one a whirl. Then we got garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, paprika, sea salt, oregano, red pepper flakes, and black pepper. These are better if you grind your own, but because we're doing a fair amount of them and it takes a long time, we're just using these. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine all of these into my mason jar. I'm doing just enough for this chili recipe that will be coming out shortly. Normally I make this like 10 times over what this amount is so that I can store it in a mason jar with a lid, and it keeps really well on the counter, and that way whenever you're making tacos, we make them a lot, you can just grab a teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever you need, throw it in here. Also make sure you check out our Chaffle video where we make taco salad with the seasoning too. Okay, all right, so starting off with our chili powder, depending on the level of spiciness you want it. So I have a tendency to slowly increase it on Stacy. And if I don't increase it enough, she thinks it's not spicy enough, and she gets disappointed, which is hilarious. This is the first time she's hearing of this, so this is actually pretty funny. A tablespoon of chili powder, and I toss it in here. And that's the bulk of the seasoning. So it's gonna be a 1/4 teaspoon of these 4 ingredients. And put them in one at a time. So that was onion powder. This is garlic powder. Dried oregano. This is gonna give you some of your heat right here with the red pepper flakes. So paprika, you can use regular paprika or you can use smoked paprika. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon. We're gonna follow that up with 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin seed.
What are you doing?
Trying to get a teaspoon of pepper. Aha! 1 teaspoon of black pepper. All right. Now, I'm just gonna put this lid on.
Shake it.
And we're gonna shake it. Now remember, this is only enough for the chili that I'm making. You can obviously 10 times this amount and end up with, you know, a 1/2 jar. You can also put this in a smaller jar. So we use these mason jars for everything. They'll be linked below, but the best way to find these is usually at Walmart. They'll be heavy canning, especially this time of year. They'll be in their canning supplies and stuff. But yeah, if you find them, if you get lucky, you can find them on sale, and they'll usually come with free shipping. So like ship to your house, especially if you're not capable of lifting, because they're pretty heavy. So anyway, that's our chili seasoning for today.
I smell it.
Smells like chili powder.
Smells like taco seasoning.